hype about living the dream? It's time for truth. This is the place for tools, power, and real talk so you can create the life you dream and deserve. Your ultimate life. Subscribe, share, create. You have infinite power.
Hey there, welcome to Your Ultimate Life. My face is red today. I'm not sure why it's so red. Maybe it's because the background's green. Doesn't matter. Today is the 5th, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 episode on building a business. I'm doing this because this episode or this whole series is about you creating your ultimate life. In order to create your ultimate life, you first need to decide, number one, what that looks like. And what I know from my own experience, for working on this now for almost 18 years, 17 and a half years, is that the more specific you are, the easier it is to do. The more specific. I'll give you an example. If you say, I want to end illiteracy to people will say, wow, that's a great goal, and they won't do anything. If you say, I want to help this school here in my neighborhood start a after-school program for reading kids that are having trouble reading. I want it to look like, 2 hours a week after school or have a special tutor, whatever it is, but you're exact. Then people that hear you say, oh, well, I know you can talk to so-and-so, or I'd contribute to that, because they know exactly what you're talking about. And so you're creating your ultimate life is the same. Building a business is the same. Now, this is the 5th episode on building a business. And the first thing about creating your ultimate life, if a business is part of it, is to get really clear. What do you want? What do you want for your ultimate life? I'll tell you what mine is. My goal is this year is to help 300 million people, you included, create wealth, money, wealth in all kinds, and to create an impact, make a difference in the world. And I want you to help you do it from your own skills you already have, gifts that you've been blessed with, and life experience that has shaped and molded you in powerful ways. Why would I pick those 3 things? Well, you can go learn a bunch of new skills. Life is busy, and that's very difficult. And you don't need to. You have the skills you already need. 2, the gifts you have, you're not utilizing fully. I'll bet. No one that I talk to is. And the life experiences you have either ruined you or refined you, especially the rough ones, right? And you haven't mined them fully. When a person connects their skills that they've learned and maybe even selling in the marketplace, jobs and so forth, with the gifts you have, and maybe have devalued, and your life experience, you can create your most effective offering, sometimes called your superpower, the thing that no one else has that makes you completely unique. So you can do that. Now, my goal is to help 300 million people to understand that and then do something with that knowledge. Understanding it is useless if you don't take action. So realize that you're a divine being. You have capability and your possibilities infinite. You have skills, you have gifts, you have life experience. Now, if you don't want to do anything with them, then I got nothing for you. But if you want to end the fear, end the procrastination, end the self-sabotage, find the time, create the business, create the impact, then I'm your guy. Best there is in the world. I know that because of what I've done for myself and others. All right. So that's what I want to help you do. Create the life that you love. And I use purpose, prosperity, and joy to describe that. Maybe you use other words, and that's fine. Now, I've got this weird green background for a special reason, and I'll tell you what it is in a minute. As part of creating that ultimate life, many want to create a business, a side hustle, a main business, a gradual replacement or an immediate replacement. Maybe you lost a job. Maybe you decide you can't stand it anymore. Or maybe the yearning to make a difference has gotten so big in your life that you simply can't say no anymore. So whatever the reason is, you've come to a place where your story needs to be told. You're tired of waiting and you're going to do something with it. Even though the mountain is high, the difficulties are big, resistance keeps showing up, and it feels hard. If that's you, then we need to talk right this minute because I know how to help you. 1, I've done it myself, and 2, I've helped many. 3, that's the reason for this show. My commitment is to help 300 million people to create wealth and get paid for and create impact using your existing skills, your gifts, and your life experience, if you want to. All right. So in that context, I created this whole series on building a business because you can have powerful life experience and use it to serve others and not make any money. That's completely okay if that's what you want to do. You have another job and you're happy to serve in your church and community on the side after hours and, on weekends. And that's what you choose to do. That's perfect. I love you. You're beautiful. And I mean that. Many, however, either find that doesn't work because of time pressures, or they find a yearning to do more, be more, have a bigger impact than they can do in extra time. And that means gradually replacing one with the other. But in order to do that, your business has to make money. And it has to make at least as much money as you're making working, and hopefully more. And there's no question you can. And here's why I know that. I don't care what you're doing for work. If you combine your existing skills, your gifts, and your life experience, you have a product that's worth 10 times what you're getting paid for your job. Period. End of story. You can argue with me, but we haven't talked, so you don't know that. That just means you're giving in to fear. Why would you do that? Why would you let fear ruin your dream? Why would you let fear get in the way of your possibility? You wouldn't. That's not you. You're capable, you're powerful, you're a divine being, for goodness sakes. You and I came from the same place. We have the same capability, infinite, and your possibility is to change the world. Those who want to hear your message and your experience with your skills, your gifts, and your life experience. So if you want to do that, let's talk. Now, today is part 5. The first part of this business series was building a business. The second part was developing a growth mindset, because lousy mindset is the reason most businesses fail, especially businesses built on providing products and services from your life experience and your existing skills. And the reason it's especially that is because we get suckered into the idea that we don't matter, that our voice can't be heard, that we really don't have anything to say, that it's all already been said, right? And who would listen to me, who would read my book, and all the rest. The growth mindset is key because it is work. There is a mountain to climb. It is going to be over some broken glass and some resistance and some struggles. The growth mindset allows you to penetrate, to pierce, to get past that and march up anyway. All right. The third episode was finding your value proposition, which means mining your existing skills that you've probably been selling in the market already, the natural gifts you have, and the life experience, the bitter pills, the resilience, the learnings, the forgiveness, the love, the growth that has happened from your life experience. Finding your superpower is marrying those things in a way that lets you see, wow, if I could just do this and make good money, 1, I'd be thrilled out of my mind. I know I can help a zillion people and I can make good money. Well, if you'd have something, and I know you do, that could make an impact for a lot of people, you deserve to be paid well. So let there be no mistake about that. The fourth episode, which was last, is creating products and services. So once you know what your value proposition is, in other words, what thing you have that's super, super valuable, you have to turn it into something. You have to turn it into a talk. You have to turn it into a product. You have to write a book. You have to have a social media strategy. You have to have a networking strategy that lets you, create. You have to have a product and service to offer. Someone says, wow, can you help me? And you know you can, but you have nothing to offer except, okay, I'll just help you. And you're free to do that. You're free to do that, but your reach is going to be really limited. If I wasn't making money good money with my products and services, the idea of reaching 300 million people would be impossible. The only reason that can happen is because it is successful and I make money, which allows me to have a larger reach. It allows me to reach more people with the message of divinity, capability, possibility, your divine origin, your infinite capability because of your divine origin, and the possibility you have to change the world. Now, those might all sound like grand words and you can disagree with them, but then you're leaving your impact on the table. You're leaving the best and most powerful version of you in the sock drawer underneath the socks in the back. Why would you do that? If your heart is speaking to you right now and says, I wish I could do that, you can, but you can't do it automatically. Instructions aren't going to come in an Amazon box, and a detailed set of instructions isn't enough anyway. The first thing is that growth mindset, then developing your superpower, and then figuring out what kind of products and services you want to offer. Now, if you're offering products and services that come from your life experience and your skills and gifts, often they come in the form of courses that you might sell on Udemy, or that you might sell on a website, or that you might sell all kinds of ways. It comes in the way of keynote speaking, where you go to conferences, where you motivate, you train, you inspire, you lift, and you bless people. It comes in the way of products and services that you offer in a membership site, where people join you because you have something to share, and the way you choose to do it is a membership site, where once a week or twice a week, you put in content that's related to what you know and why they're there. And then periodically, maybe you have a Q&A, office hours kind of thing on the third Saturday of the month. There's 100 ways to structure this, and you get to pick is the cool thing. You get to pick based on how you want to work, what you'd love to do, and what you're willing to create. And I always say what you're willing to create, because one of the biggest barriers is people say, I want to do this, that, and the other. They're not willing to do the work, either because of fear or they pretend they don't know how. I'm telling you purely and simply right now, all those problems can be eliminated right now. I can help you do that. You can get other kind of help. If that fear or not knowing how to do whatever, where to start and how would I possibly do that, that's all solvable, but only if you take action. It's like being sick and saying, I don't know what to do. I just don't know what to do. Well, you start by going to a doctor or a holistic practitioner. You take some action and go somewhere that you believe might help you. Now, it may not turn out to be so, and you don't quit and give up and say, okay, I give up. You go to another place and another place. So all of those things are key and powerful and important. Okay. So those are the ones we've done before. Today's the fifth one, which is finding marketing and finding prospects. Now, it only makes sense to do marketing and finding prospects when you have the others done. If you know what your business is, if you know what you have to sell, what you have to offer people, if you know that you can help people, probably because you already have. In the build up to this kind of business, most people have already done a ton of this stuff for free, for friends, for the church, for community, for family. And that's the limit of your reach until you monetize. So then you've got your products and services. The last episode, I see this jumping around. Sorry about that. You've got your products and services. You know exactly what you want to do. You've got maybe a product or two or three created. And now you're wondering, how do I find my tribe? How do I do that? Well, it's easier than you think. What? Yeah, it is. It's easier than you think. And here's why. Your tribe is there. You already know that there are people who need your products and services. You know that there are people who need your love, your attention, your learning, your power, and everything. So then the only question is, where are they? Well, there's lots of ways to go about this, and I'm going to tell you several of them right now. And then I'm going to tell you how to find them. Knowing where they are and finding them or talking to them or getting in front of them are two different things. But knowing where they are, here's a easy way to start. If you learned or experienced whatever it is you're selling, if this product or service comes from your own growth and your skills and your gifts, then one easy question to ask, if you're saying where are they, is where are you? Because you are the very kind of person you'd love to help. So you need to figure out, where do these people, all right, how old are they? Probably. What is the range? And a mistake we make is saying, well, everybody needs my book, my product. I could help everybody. Let's just pretend that's true, but that's not a very good marketing strategy. The first thing you need to do is ask a simple question. What is the group of people that need this the very, very most? Who would be the absolute ideal person who would hear what I have to say and just jump up and down with joy because you have nailed them between the eyes? Who is that? Now, when you ask it that way, it gets narrow. It's someone like me. Maybe it's a man or a woman of a certain age. Maybe it's someone who's gone through a certain set of experiences, and that puts them in a receptive frame of mind. Who is that? So finding exactly the best you can who that would be, and you're guessing, but you know how to guess because it's you, right? You have been through these things and you have overcome them. You have used your skills, gifts, and talents to be resilient and get past these challenges. And now you're aching and yearning to serve others who have the same challenge, the same questions, the same worries, the same fears. Now, if you are struggling with fear in the process here, then you need to get help. And that's where I come. I needed a good coaching to help. I had boatloads of stories in my head from decades of depression. I needed help. Now, I said a while ago, I'd tell you why I use this funny green background, and this is it. And this glitching that's happening isn't part of the funny green background. I don't know what's going on with the camera, but it doesn't matter. Here's what I know for sure. The green background is because so often when we ask ourselves, or when a coach or a marketing consultant asks us, who do you sell to? We answer, everybody, anybody, everybody in the universe needs what I have. Okay, let's assume that's true. It's lousy marketing strategy to start with the world, because when you go that broad, nobody listens. Nobody listens. Nobody listens. When you get really narrow, people pay more attention for two reasons. One, it is more specifically targeted, and because it's way more powerful. Your message, your connection. So if I'm saying to you, if fear is getting in the way of you launching a business or the idea of monetizing your product, service, life story, and experience, you and I are exactly the same, because fear got in my way terribly. I felt it. It beat the crap out of me. And then I learned to overcome it. And now I'm motivated by nothing but love and the desire to serve. So I have walked that road. And if that is getting in your way, then I'm your guy. Absolutely 100%. So that's the first thing. Who are you talking to? The second thing is, where are they? Now, that question is two parts: online or in real life. Now, some people say to me, well, my avatar is not online. Are you online? Because your experience and your skills and gifts are what's driving you to serve this group. You're online. Where are you? Where do you go? Where do you participate? And if you're not online, that's not a problem, except that tells you where you do need to go. Don't fish in the dirt, right? Trying to connect with people where they aren't is like trying to fish in the dirt. You don't find any success there. Of course not. Okay, good. So where are they? Are they in certain places offline? Are there meetup groups? Are there service groups in your community, Kiwanis, Rotary, and others? Are there church groups? Are there school places? Are there alumni associations? Are there trade associations? I have a client right now who realized that at the trade association of people, he's now retired, but the trade association that he used to belong to is exactly the place to find perfect people, and he hadn't thought about that at first. So here is your opportunity to do some soul searching and to go work with a good coach. Every part of this is sped up by someone who's done this already, who can tell you the pitfalls, the places to go and the places not to go, and who can help you get over the mindset nonsense that says, I'm not good enough, I can't do this, I'm afraid they'll reject me, what do I have to say? How do I approach them? What do I say? They won't want to listen, and all of the other ways that fear shows up. You don't want that. It doesn't serve you, right? Okay. Now, I did that for just a minute because I was hoping that would fix it, and it doesn't. So never mind. We're just going to move forward. You have to decide where they are, who they are, and where they are. That's going to take some trial and error. Now, I want you to imagine learning to fish. I'm not a fisherman. So all of this is anecdotal from people that I know and from stories that I've heard. But when you're fishing for a particular kind of fish, you have to know where that fish is. What kind of streams or lakes or ocean is it there? Is it in the deep water? Is it in the shallow water? What kind of bait does that fish like? Is it a morning fish? Is it an evening fish? Does it show up under the logs and in the still parts of the river? Is it in the faster parts of the river? All of those things are stuff you learn either by trial and error, or you learn it from a pro who's done this. And that's where a good coach comes in. I can't tell you how much money and time, and more than anything, discouragement, a good coach will save you. I love it. And I tell all coaches or consultants that are working to sell their expertise that if you don't have a good coach, you're a fraud. A coach without a coach is a fraud. And here's why. Unless you are consistently and constantly engaged in the process of growth, where you're challenging yourself and you're working on that growth process, you become stagnant, and your ability to grow, help others grow, which is what you're doing as a coach, isn't very good. So if you're trying to start a coaching or consulting business and you don't have a good coach, you're going to struggle. You are going to struggle. And you say, well, I already have a coach. Okay, that's fine. Here's the question. Is it working? Is the coaching container that you have, whether it's a group or private coaching or whatever, is it causing acceleration? Are you growing fast, moving ahead? Yes or no? If it's not, you need another one. Now, again, I refer you to this green background. The absolute reason I did this is because when we start this marketing conversation, it often feels like we're in an alien world, and that's why this glitching is so much fun. For this particular episode, you feel like you're in an alien world and you suddenly lose your brain and your ability to think and talk, and you don't know how to talk to people, and you don't know how to approach them, and you don't this and don't that, and it feels like green sky and blue grass and whatever. It's all wrong. And the truth is that's all in your mind, because it isn't really that way. It's clear, it's easy, and it's possible. Right here, right now. And because you can't do it right this minute doesn't mean anything except you don't have the right coach. Because suddenly it can look like this. Blue sky, clear, wonderful, excellent. If you get the right help. All right. So if you're going to market and find prospects, you have to figure out who you want to talk to. Where are they? And that involves a bunch of experimentation and trial and error. What is the message? The third thing is, what is the message that you have to insert in that marketplace? So I'm inserting a message in the marketplace right now. 1, my camera is glitching. Ooh, that's a message. No, the message I'm inserting in the marketplace is you're amazing. You're powerful. I love you. You have amazing gifts to offer the world. You can make the impact and money you want. That's the message in the marketplace. Message number 2, if fear, doubt, uncertainty, I don't know how, and all the rest is holding you back, there's an answer. You can have those direct, specific answers to know exactly how, and the how of the how, which is a phrase that I didn't create, but I love. That's all doable and possible. The third message is I am an expert at that. I am the ultimate alchemist that mixes science and magic to help you overcome every single challenge, to create products and services, to understand who you need to talk to figure out where to find them, and to close clients and create that process you want. That's all doable. Absolutely, absolutely doable. If you're willing to do the work. Okay, now, the next piece about marketing and finding prospects is after you figured out who you're talking to, where they are, right? And you figured out what the pain is, what the message is that you want them to hear. You know, if you are dealing with grief of the death of a loved one, you say, well, I can help you overcome that. That's a generic message. I can help you deal with the grief specifically, move past the debilitating loss and pain, and return to normal in your life, not forgetting them, but being energized with the love and memories that you have from them so that you move forward like they would want you to. Now, that's a message that you could. I don't deal with that particular specialty, but that would be a message you could offer. And helping people craft those messages is an area that I am an expert in. Next, you have to decide, you have to be willing to experiment. Decide where you're going to experiment and be willing to experiment. Now, maybe you're going to use social and maybe you're not. Most people do use social these days, so I'm going to talk a little bit about it. Social media is a gift. It's our opportunity to reach the whole world. Now, the face of social media keeps changing. We had Facebook start in, I think, 2006, and now it's changed. It was a free platform, then it became paid. Now it's very expensive. LinkedIn started as business only, and now their feed looks like Facebook, and then YouTube came along, and YouTube, I think, is one of the best because the videos stay, they're permanent, instead of going down a feed and disappearing. So there's YouTube, there's Pinterest, now we have X and TikTok. Everything is TikTok, right? TikTok, TikTok, TikTok. Deciding where your people are is key. Certain demographics do use certain socials more than others. And so laying out a graph about where they are, who they are, and so forth is first. Now, the key here is consistency. Because if you insert a message in the marketplace once, that's like having one billboard up for your service in the city. A big city, one billboard up on one freeway. Well, the chances that people drive by it are small. And even if they do, if there's only one in the whole city, the chances they remember you are small. It's not very effective. So if you put one message up in a week or a month, you're done. You're finished. It's not enough. There's too much noise. So you have to decide how much you're willing to do. This goes back to what are you willing to create for products and services? What are you willing to do as marketing to show up, to serve those you are looking to help? What are you willing to do? And then you have to experiment and track the metrics. Experiment and track the metrics. You have to play with the language because the language we use, it's either attractive or repulsive. If people feel understood, then they lean in. If they feel ignored or misunderstood, they lean back. So when I speak, I'm speaking to you who have a yearning in your heart to add good to the world, who know intuitively, whether you've done anything about it or not, that your life experience, the things you've learned, the challenges you've overcome, is the best and most powerful way to do that. If you're yearning to do that, you're my person. If you're willing to do the work to take advantage of the amazing tools we have, you can reach the world. Your iPhone or your smartphone camera is as good as most cameras in the world. All those things are available to you. They're just hanging there waiting for you to use. And if you're one that says, I'm willing to do that, I'm ready to climb the mountain to move from that weird green background to this beautiful blue sky, so that marketing and finding prospects is no longer confusing, but it's easy and simple. If you're willing to overcome the fear, to eliminate the noise in your head that says, I don't know how, I can't do this, this is the place for you. That's my message in the marketplace. Whatever your barrier is, you found a home. Whatever your struggle is, you found a home. So this episode is about learning to market, finding the people you will most attract, figuring out where they are, crafting a message that will attract them, figuring out where you want to go fishing to start with, and then maintain regular fishing habits until successful. Focus. Follow one course until successful. Now, you might change the bait. You might change the time of day you go. All of those fishing analogies are exactly like marketing. You'll change your hook. You'll change your language. You'll change the places you show up. But you have to understand that marketing, even in the old days in the yellow pages or on billboards, today on socials is a long game. It's a game you have to stay at and stay at and stay at. If you're not willing to do that, it's going to be hard. If you are willing to do that, and what's keeping you back is the fears and worries, that's easy to overcome. Messaging is easy to create. Target markets are easy to find. Figuring out where they're at's easy to find. The thing that gets in the way all the time is people's willingness to stay the course. So that's this episode of how to build a business, marketing and finding prospects. It's easier than you think. The biggest barrier is your willingness to do the work. The love that you feel for those people has to be big enough to get over the barriers that are keeping you stuck. I want you to think about that. We all have barriers. The love and the desire to serve the people that you know you can help, that is what trumps those barriers. How to do that? You're invited. Now, I invite you to go to that website on the page, kellenflukigermedia.com, kellenflukigermedia.com. Please go there. There's an email. Get a hold of me. Let's talk. Let's help you create your business, get paid, make a difference in the world, and create your ultimate life.
Never hold back and you'll never ask why. Open your heart and this time around.
Right here, right now. Your opportunity for massive growth is right in front of you. Every episode gives you practical tips and practices that will change everything. If you want to know more, go to kellenflukigermedia.com. If you want more free tools, go here, yourultimatelife.ca. Subscribe, share.
Stand with your heart.